I'm going to share something today that you might find shocking. I'm going to talk about our future, a prediction, and truths. I'm going to talk about what truths are, what has happened that I want to share with you that may be so mind-blowing for you. But if you're ready to go there, there's an amazing future that awaits all of us, and I'm going to explain how, why. Let's go. Welcome to Landria Onkka on YouTube, here to help you break through fears and live an amazing life. Whew, went for a walk, got a download, and I went, whoa, gotta share this. Now, I did a survey, and it was right on my channel, and I said, what are you most interested in? And you know, predictions was not that great, and awakening and ascension was way up there. Yet, when I post anything about that, I don't get as much views as when I post about predictions. So I'm going to talk about both today because both are critical in what I'm about to tell you. And there's an amazing future, and that prediction can be yours. Now, I'm going to share a truth with you. I want you to know that every truth is true. What? Yes. Truth is like saying that there's something else that isn't true, and that's not true. Why? If you focus on it and you believe it, it's true. And that's quantum physics, so it's a truth. And everything's true. There is evil in the world, true. There are aliens, true. There aren't aliens, true. It's just all what you believe, and you create an entire reality through that. Focus on that belief. It is true for you. This is why arguing and conflict makes no sense to the rest of the universes. They look at us and they're like, what the heck? They don't even go into that space. And that's what we're going to talk about right now. I have a prediction. It's already happening. There is a space that we're going into within the matrix that is taking that veil off, that covering off. Have you ever been one of those domes, those stadiums where they have a cover and then they remove the cover and you want, wow, that's cool. What's out there? But you're still in the stadium. That's how the matrix works, and our veil is coming down. We're understanding how this all works and what we have within the matrix to create, to believe, to experience, and to ascend to within it. The new earth is still a creation within the matrix because what we truly are is not an earth or a human being, even on the highest level. Now, this is what we're going to talk about. Prediction. This is 2021 as of this video, but this is going to apply more and more and more between now and 2022 especially. Is going to be a big turning point because a lot of the things that are coming to conclusion here are going to really start to accelerate. You know, the collapsing and dissolving of the systems that don't work and other things coming into place that are going to be mind-blowing, and that's what's starting to happen now. These things have been in place. They've been available to us for centuries. We are now focusing on them and creating new truths. Now, here's what I want to share with you. I did a video on the unconsciousness of the one. We are in, hear me out, hear me out. We are in the unconsciousness of the source. Of the source. What does that mean? We are in a matrix system of an unconscious one source. Now think about this. I heard this from a Portuguese diplomat who does EVPs and gets these messages for years from those on the other side. And of course they were asking questions about what is God? What is the source? It is what flows through everything, and what we're experiencing is the unconscious one. And it made so much sense to me. Now here's the other part. The conscious part of the one is when we go into higher dimensions, we live in the conscious. What the subconscious mind, the conscious mind, the subconscious mind does a lot of stupid stuff, you know, all this other stuff going on, triggers, it's lower density. The conscious mind is purposeful. It's acting purposefully. We are not in that. We're going into it. Now what happens when we go into awakening we get invited into the conscious mind. That's another dimension where other beings function there in total consciousness. The stuff that we do here and experience and argue and all the garbage that goes on doesn't exist in the conscious mind of the source. The unconsciousness we are experiencing flows through everything. Flows through everything. And when we go into the higher levels, we go into the conscious mind, and there aren't even planets there. We don't have to experience some of the things that we do here because the teachings are different. They're just experiences. Now, what I'm predicting right now is that more of us are going to start to recognize these truths, and you get to choose your truths, that are going to take you into a space where this is going to make so much sense, that we're in an unconscious mind of the source. Therefore, we have free will to do conflict, damage, all these horrible things. The unconsciousness of that energy field is what we are. Our mission is to progress and graduate to consciousness, and as we start to recognize that's exactly what's going on, and we become more conscious, we will shift the future of everything that's going on out there, because we will no longer relate to the unconscious mind of source. We will be totally conscious in our thoughts, our actions, our beliefs, and it will not even go into the space of density. Therefore, that creation from that high level consciousness we're connecting to, the one singularity is total consciousness. What it experiences in the density is the unconsciousness of it, right? It's all still one thing, but this is the unconscious source. When we go into that space, we will change the future of the planet, how these systems that are dissolving will play out. It does not have to be some cataclysmic thing. It can be a nicer transition. Those who will cling to it in the unconscious living will still be arguing, fighting for rights of individuals, which doesn't exist in the conscious mind, because we know we're not individuals. And so all thoughts are about the one, contributing to the one, highest level. There's no arguing, taking sides, I'm fighting for this, there's no fighting. None of that exists in the conscious mind. It's a choice. And if you choose that as your truth, you'll create it. Because we are creating everything through our belief, and what's true for you will exist. Everything exists right now. So it's true that, this is what our future is going to be. If you choose it, it will be yours. This is how powerful the mind is, the conscious and unconscious mind. And we're in the unconsciousness, so we're still going to be making some truths choices that are still attached to the material world in separation. When you end that, and some of you will argue about this, and that's still the unconscious mind that has to argue. Even, some of you have asked me about life purpose, and I shot a video about this. That's the unconscious mind having to know something or have a direction or define something. You don't have to define anything. You are total light and love. There's no thought in that. And your existence here, it has great purpose. And that is to be of total service at every moment. And as I shared in that video that I shot about your life purpose, today your purpose may be to go out of your way. Today I'm picking my neighbor up from the dentist, and he felt really bad. He's like, I hate to ask you this. I said, I'm so happy to do this for you. Barely know each other. And I thought it meant so much to him. He's so appreciative. One little thing. It's not even that far. No big deal for me to go do that. It feels good. When we extend ourselves to one another. And he reached out to me. So I'm obviously putting out that frequency, that I'm accepting of that, right? And you know that with other people. You can see if there are barriers, if they're argumentative, if they're seeing the worst in people. I recently lost a very good friend, but it was time. This person sees the worst in everybody and what they should change. There's always something they need to do to change. And everything is about, who and what they should be and what's not good with them. And they think that they're being positive. Sometimes we're so deep in our density, we don't even realize, we're not appreciating the beauty in every single person. And on this planet, it's flawed because it's part of the unconscious mind. If you wrap your head around it, and that statement, the unconscious mind, blew my mind. The people who were doing the EVPs said that they didn't understand what it meant, and I totally got it, according to me, right? And that was, of course, because the conscious one, because everybody says, why would God do all this? Because it's the unconscious mind of God that's doing this. And the unconscious mind allows those things to happen. But we, as the directors within that unconscious mind, can make the higher choices to change it. And that's what this whole matrix is about. Going into the unconsciousness, forgetting everything we are, that's unconscious, right? Does this make perfect sense to you? You might be going, whoa, okay, that was a lot to take in. I predict that there's going to be a big percentage of people, not big like the majority, a big percentage of people that are going to click with these truths and realize this is so massive, so powerful, and every thought counts, all actions, and none of these frivolous things going on really matter. Some of the things we argue about it's insanity, and that's unconsciousness. When you go to consciousness, you will view things and realize it's like stepping into a insane asylum, and you realize, okay, it is what it is. But you're standing in there. You wouldn't have a conversation with those people, right? They're not of, grounded mind within the material world. They're off someplace else. We don't know where that is. But you wouldn't try and have a logical conversation with them or talk about things that they can't comprehend, would you? So why are you trying to do it here? You're in good company here because we've got people on my channel that are making amazing comments. And I'm so proud of you because I see this light in so many of you. And some of you will just say, boy, I didn't get that. And I'm like, that's okay. You don't have to get it. And it doesn't have to be true for you. But I'm going to tell you what my truth is. It takes me to places that I never dreamed of because I don't even have to place an order in the quantum field anymore. Because I'm so connected at times, not all the time. I'm still in the material world. Stuff happens, right? But I still have the ability to connect to that field, the one consciousness, and know that everything is so meaningful and beautiful. And everything comes to me exactly the way it should, and I don't have to even order it. Because the human mind tries to order things. I desire this, I'm going to manifest it. When you go to the conscious mind, you don't have to do that. If you see something, you know if you want something or not. You don't have to do some big incantations and rituals and all this other stuff and vision boards, because that vision board's right here. And so you, as the dense human, become the best of humanity and awakening. Yeah. The one consciousness with the human body is awakening. And you're going there. I know you are. You gotta let go of those thoughts, the monkey mind, the chatter, because those thoughts are going to predict our future. And people are like, well, what is it? And they'll, waste money on people telling you what your future is. And I'll tell you what, if there's a good person you go to, first thing they're gonna say is, anything I tell you, you can change. And there will be certain events, I call them Nexus points, where you have pre-ordered a challenge. I'm going to go into forgiveness, so that means I have to have certain events that place me in a position to be able to forgive. And if you saw my video on you and I, and that talk we had before we came to Earth, and that we were going to have to meet up here again to try and remember what we are, then you know that there are certain things we ordered when we came here to take on, because our mission is to break through the unconsciousness. And so other beings out there who exist in whatever form they're in, that's why they can walk through walls and stuff, they're in such a high consciousness level that the material world has no real meaning to them, right? If you're on that level, what's money? what's a house anymore if you don't even need these things? And so they're on such a high level, we can't even relate to that. So they're in the consciousness of the one, and they're observing us because we are a threat, because we affect everybody from the unconscious to the conscious mind. So, yes, there are many other unconscious planets, but I'm pretty sure none as bad as this, because if they were worse than us, they don't exist. They've already been blown up. And there may be some that blow themselves up, but they'll be gone. We don't have to go that route. We can change it. There does not have to be any horrible thing that happens from here on out. There will be change, drastic changes. This is a good thing. There are watchers and protectors out there who are absolutely monitoring what's going on. They will be making themselves known. And the more you go outside of that veil, the more you can be okay with that and know that there are other things that exist in those other fields. Some are on the unconscious universes, multiverses. But you have full control over you. And no one can invade that. They can try. But if you don't believe that they have control over you, then they don't. That's how much control you have over your empowerment. I see us going into a golden era right now. I feel it. Many people are feeling it. My life is continuing to transform in ways that expand my ability to reach audiences. I hope that you will subscribe and share this with as many people as possible. And if it blows their mind, that's okay. You know what? If a caveman saw an airplane, what do you think he would think it is? Ah! He wouldn't even say metal. He wouldn't even know what metal is. Scary animal going to attack me, and, probably scream and go into the cave. And that's how we function sometimes. Sometimes we're not ready to accept these mind-blowing things because, well, we are in the unconscious mind. I hope you enjoyed this. Please join Manifest Anything. The Miracle Circle, doing amazing things. Come on over. It's $29.95 a month. I've got some amazing new trainings going in there. Taking out the old ones, I think it was a little bit too advanced. So I'm putting some trainings that make sure that you get the basics and the foundation. And those of you who are advanced, you're going to love it too. It's all really powerful stuff. And once a month, we meet together live and we create a circle of light. Why? Because that's powerful. And even if you watch the replay, doesn't matter. No such thing as time. Come on over. Total Clarity coming out end of October. Hopefully by the time you see this, it's already out. It's the first in a series of 3 steps for you to transform your life. Tap into your power, and I'm going to teach you in Total Clarity. I love that course. It's so simple. You have practices and meditations and things to work through so you can tap into this conscious mind that I'm talking about. The second one, Breakthrough Fear. Come on over and take it. Eliminate the blocks and barriers that you've created here in this illusion. And then the third one is going to be coming out in 2022, and that's called Activate Your Magic. And we're going to do some really great stuff there with manifesting, because I think you're ready for this. Are you ready to go into the consciousness and understand that this is purposefully the unconscious source of the one? Therefore, everything can happen here. No intervention, right? No intervention here. All right. I hope you had fun. Come on over, you guys. This is the free videos for the internet marketing training. We're learning things online. We're creating businesses. We're doing cool stuff. That's the new world. No more criticizing anything. If you don't like it, don't do it. You're whole and perfect, strong and powerful, loving, harmonious, and happy. And you know what I say? If you have anything bad to say, shut your pie hole. Namaste.